This video is brought to you by NordVPN. Strangers funnel through the jungle. Swords slash through the dense bushes. The ambush begins. Arrows fall down on the warriors who fight back against their unseen enemy. When the dust settles, they count the fallen. Why were these soldiers of the mighty Inca Empire risking everything in these dangerous woodlands? This is no ordinary battle. The men of Tawantinsuyu, the vast Inca Empire that spans from the forest's edge to the desert coast and the high peaks beyond, are on a mission that will shape their future. But even as they expand their reach, danger lurks on the horizon. A powerful enemy watches, waiting to challenge their rise. The Inca Empire, born in the high mountains, conquered millions and connected their empire with a network of roads, castles, and monuments. How did they rise to control such vast lands? What secret weapon allowed them to dominate so many diverse peoples? Legends and prophecies would later tell the story of how they collapsed, but today we look at their incredible ascent. This is the rise of the Inca Empire. King Viracocha enlarges his small kingdom, guided by the counsel of his court. Among his children is a favored son, Inca Urco, whom he showers with gifts and slaves to meet all his earthly needs. Yet his other son, Inca Yupanqui, receives no such luxury. Though astute, courageous, and kind-hearted, Yupanqui is despised and resented by the king. Why would a king reject such a noble son? What consequences will arise from this favoritism? Viracocha is the 8th king in the line of Incas, a dynasty that has ruled over the city of Cusco and its surroundings for 200 years. He desires that Inca Urco, his favored son, will one day succeed him. But danger lurks on the horizon. The Chancas, fierce enemies of the Incas, declare war. Viracocha and Urco, fearing for their lives, abandon Cusco and flee to fortified strongholds, leaving the city vulnerable. As the enemy approaches, who will defend Cusco when its rulers have fled? Inca Yupanqui, the resented son, stays behind, resolute that the Golden City will not fall while he lives. In the mountains, the Chancas march toward Cusco, their army barreling down the hills at dawn. Against impossible odds, Yupanqui leads the defense. The ground is covered in the mangled remains of dead warriors. The battle ends. Yupanqui stands victorious. He presents his father with the spoils of war, prisoners and treasures, as tradition demands. Yet in an insult too great to bear, Viracocha orders Inca Urco, his favored son, to claim the victory for himself. Furious, Yupanqui departs, his triumph ignored. But why would the king deny his true warrior son? How far will Yupanqui go to claim the honor he deserves? Viracocha, apprehensive of Yupanqui's rising fame, sends assassins to kill his own son. But Yupanqui's loyal followers prevent the plot. The prince survives. He returns to Cusco with his men, just as 2 more Chanca divisions strike. This time, Yupanqui shows no mercy. He kills their commanders, mounts their heads on lances, and displays their dead bodies across the city, a warning to all enemies of the Incas. Whether the nature of the victory is true or exaggerated, it becomes a cornerstone of Inca history. 1438, Inca Yupanqui is crowned emperor or Sapa Inca, taking the name Pachacuti, the Earth Shaker. With this title, he ushers in a new era for the Incas. The deposed Viracocha returns to the city in disgrace, and when Inca Urco, his brother, tries to reclaim Cusco, Pachacuti and his warriors put an end to him once and for all. Pachacuti begins the grand transformation of Cusco. Under his reign, planned streets appear, paved and carefully organized between towering temples, fortresses, and noble residences. Thinkers of the time gather to record history, whilst the centers become hubs of art and festivals to celebrate a new, burgeoning people. But how did this humble city in the mountains grow into the heart of a powerful empire? The first to submit to Pachacuti's rule are the neighboring mountain-dwelling peoples where they have lived for centuries. The sun warms the peaks, allowing them to cultivate maize and potatoes on terraced fields carved into the slopes. Stone terraces hold heat and moisture, protect crops from the extreme weather of the Andes climate. But will these communities, long independent, accept Pachacuti's offer of security or resist his growing empire? In their stone dwellings, men and women adorn themselves in traditional clothing, all made from the wool of llamas and alpacas of the high mountains. Life in these highlands is collective but harsh, and for many generations, the people have endured warfare between local factions. Now, Pachacuti offers peace and protection, but only if they pledge loyalty to the Inca Empire. The peasants receive safety and gifts from the Inca, but in return, they owe labor to the empire, 2 to 3 months each year spent farming, weaving textiles, or building roads and monuments. Currency does not exist. Instead, labor is the empire's wealth. Every man is bound by one additional duty: to fight for the king when called. But with many lords unwilling to surrender their power, how far will Pachacuti have to go to ensure their submission? One such opponent is Chuchi Capac, a powerful ruler to the southeast in the Collas. He mocks Pachacuti's rising power and demands that the Inca ruler bow to him or fight him to the death. Pachacuti marches his army through the mountains to face Chuchi Capac. At dawn, the battle erupts. Spears fly through the air, softening the enemy before the Inca forces charge. For hours, both sides stand firm, but eventually Pachacuti breaks through, capturing Chuchi Capac himself. The enemy forces crumble. Yet what fate awaits those who dared to challenge the might of the Inca? Returning to Cusco, Pachacuti orders the public execution of Chuchi Capac, beheading him in the city square as a message to all who oppose the Inca. But with new threats on the horizon, can Pachacuti hold his empire together, or will his enemies continue to rise against him? Pachacuti shakes the Andes to its core. Leaders who bend the knee keep their power. Those who resist face the wrath of the Inca army. Most surrender without bloodshed. Instead of looting, Inca officials integrate local rulers and construct massive storehouses filled with food and supplies, symbols of the empire's wealth and generosity. Pachacuti earns the title Huacha Koyak, lover and benefactor of the poor. But will these gestures of goodwill be enough to prevent rebellion in the future? To keep administrative tracking of the empire, Inca officials use quipus, knotted cords of varying colors, to record census data, inventories, and document conquests. Each newly conquered household is reported back to Cusco, where the empire grows stronger. Pachacuti consolidates his control over the sacred lake Titicaca, revered as the birthplace of the sun, moon, and stars by the Incas. But his ambitions stretch far beyond the Great Lakes shores. As Pachacuti looks north, the Chimor Empire remains the last powerful rival to his rule. Its capital, Chan Chan, is a fortress with tall walls and irrigation systems supporting tens of thousands. Pachacuti sends his son, Tupac Yupanqui, a new, young commander, to lead the campaign. The young commander, known for his cunning wits, cuts off the Chimor water supply, forcing their eventual surrender. Back in Cusco, Tupac Yupanqui emerges as Pachacuti's most trusted heir, proven in battle and leadership. Together, they rule an empire connected by over 25,000 miles of road, built with aqueducts, bridges, and outposts, built of the backs of the labor they acquired through conquest. An empire so vast requires quick and speedy communication. Thousands of messengers, called chasqui, are installed throughout the empire to carry vital information across the empire with astonishing speed. This new communication systems allows for further campaigns along the coast. Tupac Yupanqui comes across the kingdom of Ungara. The kingdom's defenders stall his first assault, forcing him to retreat. But as they celebrate their apparent victory, the Incas struck back mercilessly. This brutal display of power ensured loyalty from those who watched. The Inca message is clear: resistance would not be tolerated. In the aftermath, the empire's grip tightened, but new challenges lay ahead. To cement control over conquered territories, the Incas seize sacred relics and bring them to Cusco. These items, once symbols of local identity, became tokens of submission, held in the heart of the empire. With these relics in Cusco, rebellion is suppressed, and the capital became a site of pilgrimage and power. But as the empire continued to expand, the balance between loyalty and domination grew ever more delicate. Pushing north into Ecuador, Tupac Yupanqui does not stop there. Inca armies move with precision and discipline. Forbidden from looting, soldiers depend on vast caravans of porters and llamas to carry provisions. Along their expansive road network, storehouses stocked with food, weapons, and clothing ensure the empire's armies can march far and wide without losing momentum. This logistical prowess became a cornerstone of the empire's success, but as they stretched further, so too did the limits of their control. Tupac Yupanqui leads his men east into the Amazon, a frontier like no other. The forest also houses fragmented tribes that do not fall easily under Inca rule. While minor victories earn the empire new resources, the Amazon remains a region that resisted full domination. Still, as the empire grows, so did its diversity. Forest bowmen, desert warriors, and highland troops all became part of the Inca army. The empire encompassed millions of people from different backgrounds and speaking different languages, but Quechua became the empire's language that ties them together. Believing it is their mission to civilize the world, the Incas imposed strict moral codes. They banned cannibalism, forbid the eating of dog meat, punished adultery and witchcraft, and exalt family life. Governors even arranged marriages to increase population growth and ensure stability. While these measures strengthened the empire from within, the pressure of managing so many people and cultures is bound to create tension in the years to come. After his first venture into the Amazon, Tupac Yupanqui returns to his aging father. Pachacuti's passing sends shockwaves through the empire. To honor him, the Incas offer their most precious sacrifices to the gods: thousands of llamas, treasures, and even human lives. Youths from across the empire are sacrificed to join their king in the afterlife. Pachacuti's, his spirit remains, bound to his mummified body, guiding the empire beyond the grave. Inca belief holds that their dead kings continue to influence the living, their mummies attended and consulted on matters of the empire. Even so, the mantle of leadership now falls to Tupac Yupanqui. Mourning his father, the new emperor raises his armies and returns to the jungle. But this time, he meets despair. Lost and plagued by skirmishes, Tupac Yupanqui nearly succumbs until a general finally rescues him. The jungle remains unconquered, but another threat is brewing. Back in the empire, the Collas have risen in rebellion, killing Inca officials and fortifying their strongholds. Tupac Yupanqui responds swiftly, raising a massive army. He crushes the rebellion, killing the Collas' leadership in the process. To prevent future uprisings, the empire implements mitma, the mass relocation of conquered peoples. Rebellious populations are scattered, replaced by loyal subjects. But with every conquest, the challenge of maintaining control grows. Tupac Yupanqui's ambitions drive him further. He marches into modern-day Argentina and Chile, pushing south until his forces clash with the fierce Mapuche people. After a bloody days-long battle, weakened by the harsh conditions, Tupac Yupanqui pulls his army back. The Inca Empire, now known as Tawantinsuyu, the land of the four quarters, continues to expand, each quarter governed by a loyal official overseeing the empire's 80 provinces. But with expansion comes strain, and the empire's borders are pushed to their limits. Under Tupac Yupanqui, Cusco flourishes as he oversees the construction of towering fortresses like Sacsayhuaman, a marvel of engineering with colossal boulders cut and fitted together without mortar. As with his father before him, Tupac Yupanqui prepares for the future. His chosen queen is his sister, Mama Oclo, a powerful figure in her own right. Their son, Huayna Capac, is groomed to inherit the throne. Upon Tupac's death around 1493, a bloody struggle for power erupts. Eventually, Huayna Capac emerges victorious, securing his father's legacy and leading new campaigns to maintain the empire's stability. But a dark omen hangs over his reign, a new threat that even the mighty Incas cannot anticipate. Late in Huayna Capac's rule, a plague sweeps across the empire, killing both the Sapa Inca and his heir. Many believe it is smallpox, brought by foreigners glimpsed on the empire's borders, pale-faced men from a faraway land. As the disease-ridden Incas fall into civil war, Huayna Capac's life is claimed. These outsiders grow closer. The Inca Empire is about to face its greatest enemy yet, the might of Spain,